Today we're going to do a ride along. What you're going to see is actual real time, the process that I go through in order to meet a client's needs. I got a call from a client that works with casinos and works with gaming. His need is to create a reporting auto sequence. Okay, he wants to see how many of a particular item or group of items that they are selling during a particular time period. The time period is going to be defined as a shift for a cashier. The sales items that we're going to be looking at are a handful of gaming items. So what we're going to be doing today, so the first thing we're going to do is make menu items, and they're going to be simple menu items. They're going to be for gaming products. So very simple stuff. Then we're going to create a report that's specific for the items. And then we're also going to want to create a report that can be run from the actual terminal. So a touchscreen report that will print up on the 40-column printer. So we're going to be doing two different reports. First, the back office report, which is an auto sequence. And then we're going to be doing a 40-column report that's called by a key and prints on the printer in the front of the house. All right, great. With that said, we will dive right in. So the first thing that we want to do is open up the configurator. I've already got mine open. And then we're going to go ahead and enter the menu items. So down here, I've already begun that. And so I'm just going to copy and paste. Actually, these don't have any particulars. They're blank, as you can see here. So we're going to go ahead and set them up as something. Okay, the reason I've chosen guest check only is because for our example, we just want this to print onto the guest check as a sale. The guest check only, if we take a quick look at it, is also always going to go to the report and to the journal. Let's see, guest check only, yep. Now the report and the journal, so that's already defined, so we don't have to worry about that. It will be the same in your system most likely. And we're going to put it, for lack of a better place, because I don't have one created, a different SLU created for it. Well, maybe we'll just create that real quick. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to create an SLU for gaming tickets. And I kept the food screen just because that's the easiest thing. I know that that behaves the way I want it to behave as far as allowing me to move within my system. That touchscreen style, what that is that's the hard-coded buttons on the sides. So I want it to maintain the same as what's going on. So one thing we also want to do is we want to notice the number 14. That's good. Whoops. And then we're going to come down here and find our main screen. This is probably the screen that we're logging into, and if that's the case, I could probably repurpose that London key. Obviously another test key that I've done in the past. And we'll call this gaming tickets. And we're going to go menu SLU and then 13, whoops, not 13, 14 for gaming tickets. That's how we define what is going to show up on our screen. Now that is going to keep all of this other stuff here. That is that food screen, that 601 touchscreen style, which we just referenced when we created the SLU. Okay, so in this case, we want the Pick 6 to show under 14 gaming tickets and reporting tickets. Wow, look at that. That'll work. And prices doesn't matter because we're not going to deal with that for testing purposes. Okay, so now we need to create, let's say, like 10 of them or so. And we could change each individual name, but because they're different menu items, okay, so you got number 200, 201, 202, 203, they're going to show up as different items in our report. Okay, our menu items are set and done. We're good with that. Oh, one thing we do want to check though is I do want to write down, as I go through this process, I need to know those numbers. So I'm going to write down what those numbers are. And they are 801, 200 through 209. That will come in handy later. I'll show you. All right, the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to open up auto sequences and reports. What we're going to create is an auto sequence. And that's what these are. You can see it up here. That's a report. These are auto sequences. You can see we have multiple, and that's what the next key allows us to access more. Here are some custom ones that we've done in the past that are still in the system. So we'll do another one that will be right here under Lulu's reports. So we can exit that. And go back into configurator, reporting, auto sequences. Go down here to the bottom and create a new one. Okay, I've already started one, so what we've done to do this, I'll just do another one, is we hit plus, and we'll call this Gaming Report 2, so we know which one we're working on. Anybody can run this. That's what the privilege is. If you want managers only to run it, you want to put that at a 1 or a 2. General managers only, you want to put that at a 3. We're not going to schedule it. This is how we do something to run automatically or at distinct times. We're going to leave it blank because we're going to run this manually. We can throw an icon on there if you want, whatever. That just makes it stand out a little bit. On this one, we do not want this to hide on the run screen. The run screen is what we just looked at with auto sequences. We want it to show up. So now that we have 30010, make note of that number, Gaming Report 2. Now we go to auto sequence steps, and this is where we define that auto sequence. So we're going to go down here and pull it up, and now we have to define our steps. And we do that by hitting the plus key. Step number 1 is going to be a report. The report template for this particular one, it can be a revenue, let's see, menu. It should be a menu item, I think. Let's see. All right, here's another receipt. We'll take a look. See which report you guys want to run automatically. So if we find the report we want to run, we'll go here. We'll have my sales detail. Then we find what report it is. Okay, we know the system. I think our client has one register, so just ignore that. As we run sales reports, there's 2 issues. So, set aside. I have the computer. We also do, I think we should find the customer data as well, but we want to be able to use the news, so we'll wait to find it. And minus all cheap. Sales group, so one group. Okay, that's the one we want. Consolidate, hopefully. I mean, we'll find out when we run it, right? So it's report 83. So now we're going to define it. Report 83. Okay, I do not want to preview the report output. I'm not going to print to a disk. The ranges, okay, this is the date range. This is where we're going to set some specifics because this is an auto sequence. So we will specify, the date range, and it will be for today. The object range source to specify. Oops, dang, keep doing that. And this is where we begin. We're going to put our number in, 801. 200, 801, 209. These are your menu item numbers. That's why we wrote them down earlier. Error actions we're going to ignore, call, report. Okay, everything looks good. So now the gaming report 2 should show up. We have no sales to report yet because we haven't run anything in. And we haven't even checked. Okay, we got a couple things to do. So the auto sequence is set up. Nice, quick, easy, not big deal. Now we got to go to this. The touchscreen designer we set up, so that should be working. And the next thing that we want to do is let's see what it looks like. Let's start our res. Alrighty, let's go check it out. That button is on our food screen, so we're going to go to gaming tickets. We put it on the food screen. It's right there. Let's see if that pulls up SLU14. Sure does. There's all our pick 6s. These are all each individual menu items. So let's go ahead and choose a few. And we're going to cache them out. And we're going to do the same thing a bunch of different times. So we get different numbers for each one, because we want to check to make sure our report pulls all of them up. And once we've completed that, then we can go ahead and cancel out, minimize this, and now we're ready to run a report. Okay, now I bring that under ID 222. And depending on how we set up our reporting mode to do it, let's go check it out. Let's see if our auto sequence is populated. And sure enough, it has. Gaming report 2. Let's run it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it has run this. So we did not set this to go to a file, in which case this should have printed out on our printer. So let's take a quick look. Let's reset this so it goes to a file. And then we can check to make sure it's working. Print to disk file name. Okay, so here we're going to do game report text, or yeah, text is good. And we can also choose to preview it. All right, let's do it again. Okay, so we know that this is working. So we've done, this is the preview. What this is showing us is the preview. It's not showing us the text file we created. And now we know that this is pulling up exactly what we want, 200 to 209 for the current shift. And that looks great. Okay, now this particular report is going to go across all servers because we have not defined this specifically for one server. The following report that we do, which will be run from the POS system, we'll see if we can't tighten that up a little bit. Now we want to create a 40 column report. So we'll create another auto sequence, and this will be for a 40 column. So create new, and this will be 40 column game report. Privilege is 0. We do want to hide this on the run screen. There's no sense in running a 40 column from the back office server. We don't have a schedule class for it. Report is 30011. You can see that right there. All right, we're done with that. Now we'll go to auto sequence steps. Oops, sorry. And we'll go down to our new report, and we will add a new one. This will be a report. And now we have to find the correct report template. So again, we're going to go through here. I'm going to do a quick side cut here. I like looking through the reports this way. It's a little easier for me. And we're going to go down and find our 40 cols. They're in the 80s, I think. Oh, 90s, okay. And we're going to look for our sales totals or our menu item. Let's see. Menu item sales detail. by system. So we're looking at 125. Let's check that out and see if it turns out to be what we want. Okay, this is going to be a 40 column system menu item sales. All right. And we're going to print that to we're not going to print to a disk file name. Actually, we're going to let this print to a printer. Because it's the 40 column, we're going to run it from our POS system. So in our situation, we're going to run it through res, which is on our back office. And our res is already set up to print to a journal file. And so we're just going to let it do that. I'm not sure what journal file, so we'll have to take a quick look at that. But we'll find out. All right, we still want to do our ranges. We want to do specified as today. And we want the object range to be the same. So we do remember, because we wrote it down, what that is. Whoops. 801, 200, 801, 209. And we'll save that. And that should be it. Error, ignore. That's what we want. All right. So we're pulling up report number 1, our auto sequence. That's not what we want. Auto sequence 30011. Why do we need that? Because now we just put a button in. And we'll put this on the manager screen. We're going to have to make some space. We're going to copy another key that runs reports just for ease of use. And you can see that this employee detail runs an auto sequence with an employee prompt. That sounds good to me. We can also just do an auto sequence if we wanted to, but we don't want to. The employee prompt is good because in order to reach this manager screen, we probably have to be signed in as a manager, in which case we don't want to run the report for our own number. We want to run the report for somebody else. So we will do that. We will rename this, and this is going to be game report. And the auto sequence that we are going to run is going to be this one. So it's going to ask us for an employee number. Should be what we want, if we're lucky. If not, then we'll figure it out. You'll notice that there's some issues I'm having with my screens. My previous project is embedded in this machine right now, and so we're kind of working our way around that. Okay, everything looks good. Let's run through what we just did. So what we've done is we've created an auto sequence 30011. Okay, and I'm not just doing this for you, the viewer. I'm also doing this. This is the process that I follow in order to test things out. I've created auto sequence 30011, which is called the gaming report. Privilege is 0. It is hid on the run screen, so there's no icon associated with it. That is the auto sequence. Now the auto sequence steps for 30011 are to run a report. It's not supposed to skip it. It's running the report template 125, which is a 40 column menu item sales detail for the system. To running that report specifically for the ranges 801, 200 to 209 for today. It's ignoring any errors. It's not calling an external program, and it's not a stored procedure. It is a report. So we are good. Everything looks good. We have set up our manager screen to host a button. And that button is the gaming report. And what that does is that calls an auto sequence with an employee prompt. So it's going to ask for an employee number, and then it's going to run auto sequence 30011. Everything looks good. One thing that I will do that you won't have to do, I have to find out where that's going to print to. And I do that by taking a look at my server and what my printers are set up for my server. My customer receipt printer is actually 1101 customer receipt journal. Okay, so I want to find where that prints. 1101 customer receipt journal prints to a disk file, which is in the journals subfolder called customer receipt journal. So we're going to pull that up. And you can see here we're in POS journals, and our customer receipt journal I've renamed to old, so it should create a new one in this folder. Let's give it a shot. Let's get res going. And we're going to sign in as a manager. And let's run our game report. Enter report employee number. 222 is the employee's number. No, that's a mistake. That's the employee's security code. That's a security code. Their number is actually 2020001. So we'll try that again. Okay, it's running the report. With any luck, that's printing. Okay, so when we go to look for our journal, we notice that we don't have a customer receipt journal that printed up. And that is because what I was looking at was the wrong thing. When you look at their user workstation, where mine should be printing up for the micro server, since we're doing a report, we're not doing a customer receipt on this. It is actually, the report printer is 1099 server journal. So let's find out where that prints. 10099 is a disk file, and that prints to a file called journal server.journal. And if we look here, we've got that right there. So, moment of truth, let's see if our report ran. We're going to go to the very bottom of it. This is the journal server, so this goes all the way back to 2000, and in this case, 2011. We are interested in the bottom of it for our report, which just ran, and we can see that right here. Above it, you can see the menu items that we rung through as cash, because it doesn't have any dollar value. It's all zeros. Starting right here, you can see our daily system sales menu item sales detail. This is exactly what we just created with our button and our button report. So you can see that it's got the menu item, 801-200, the number of sales, and then the percentage of sales for that item over this small report. Okay, since we're only looking at 8 items or 10 items, it's only looking at that, and that's giving us 100%. So these are very accurate if we're just looking individually at a particular area of the database. So we're happy with that, very, very happy. And you can see this is the report it ran, MIS001 report, which just ties in with our templates. So everything looks great. There's always room for improvement. We can tie it in a little bit. We can tighten it up. We can maybe find a better report that doesn't give us as many. It might give us too much information. Maybe it doesn't give my client enough information, but this is a great place to start off. And so now I will get in touch with my client and be able to move forward in a quick and efficient manner. Hopefully you found this useful. This is the process that I go through when working with you guys, and also when I'm trying to get stuff done for myself. As always, if you have questions, please get in touch with us. Thanks.